Hello guys, it's Free Friday Class Pick again, and you're watching the Awesome 10X channel. If this is the first time that you are beginning to watch, please don't forget to like and subscribe our YouTube Awesome 10X channel to get a lot of great Awesome 10X ideas. Again, the Awesome 10X mantra is to find winners that will continue to win, such that you have no problem just buying and holding because it's a winner. So you buy it today and you hold and sleep and make money while you're sleeping. Today's topic is ticker symbol TPGY, also known as EVBox. It's the largest charging station in Europe, category SPACS, special purpose acquisition companies, EV charging infrastructure, electric vehicle charging infrastructure. Today is December 18, 2020, 7 days before Christmas. An advance Merry Christmas to all of you. Okay, so let's begin. This SPAC actually was announced just 7 days ago, and that SPAC has already more than doubled in a week's time. Shares of this company already doubled in a single day in that December 11 because it's gonna be the house of Europe's largest EV charging station network, a total of over 190,000 charging points in more than 70 countries worldwide. So why did it go double? Okay. So this is actually what it does. You can charge it with your home. They have the infrastructure. So if it reminds you a little bit of ChargePoint, it's because it is really a comparison. It is a direct comparison. The only difference is the geography. So for those who don't know, so you can charge up in your offices, in cities, at home. It's in retail stores, it's in highways, it's in gas station. You can charge up your electric vehicles with EVBox at all these locations. Of course, we believe in the secular trend, which is the electric mobility and a zero carbon future. And we believe in this such that we will actually tell you that one of the major reasons for electric vehicles to grow is because of the ease of use, the reliability and durability. You have to see so many 100,000 to 1 million charging stations, 2.5 million charging stations said by SBE, ticker symbol SBE, aka ChargePoint. And that is also the goal of this company, TPGY. They're just in different geographies. Let's take a look at the fun fact sheet, EVBox fact sheets. So EVBox 2020, the informal company description is, we power up electric cars wherever and everywhere they go. Of course, the formal company description is, we are the leading global manufacturer of electric vehicle charging stations and charging management softwares. So our impact, well, this is actually already more than 115. Actually, they already have 190,000 charging spots. So it's actually more than 200, approximately 200,000. This 55 countries is already 70. Mute for everyone. I think somebody is listening. Mute first. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So they've got a lot of employees. They've been growing, and this company portfolio is, of course, they've got charging stations for the residential workplace. It's called, their products are LV Home Line Business Line. And it actually won the CES award in 2018. For those who don't know, the CES, it's a consumer electric show. All right, I think so. Or consumer electronics, electronic something. So there, CES is really where the latest gadgets are always showcased, whether it be an Impossible Foods burger, or whatever. All right, so the commercial and public, they've got the icon in the public line, and they also won a lot of awards for that. And the highway public, which is the Tronic and Ultronic, these are the examples of that. On the road and from your doorstep, you've got EVBox with you. Some 2019 EVBox fact sheet, they said that their history is, they were founded in 2010, 10 years ago. We've made our breakthrough when the market for electric vehicles was still in its infancy. Take note that in 2010, that was also the day and the year that Tesla actually started to do IPO. So 2010, about 10 years ago. Our founders set their hearts and eyes on a very clear concept, a fully modular charging station facilitating easy installation, maintenance upgrades, and above all, uncompromising quality and durability. Soon, we have become the sole supplier of public charging infrastructure in cities such as Amsterdam, Rotterdam, Monaco. Meanwhile, we also played an active role in promoting smart charging technologies and roaming up charging infrastructure with industry partners and public organizations. Our mission is to help build a future where everyday transport is self-sustained and emission-free by bringing smart and scalable charging solutions to electric vehicles around the world. To realize this, we need to install 1 million charging points by 2025. And our vision is really a future where everyday transport is electric, emissions-free, sustained by a green charging infrastructure. Our solution, all right. We offer electric vehicle charging solutions with uncompromising quality and reliability. Our charging solutions maximizes the return of our investment while minimizing costs. So from installation to tracking to billing of all the charging sessions, we help everyone operate and manage their charging stations with ease and efficiency. Who are our partners today? Energy utilities, mobility service providers, distributors, installers, resellers, e-commerce, car manufacturers, car dealerships, leasing companies, public organizations, local governments, electric vehicle drivers, workspaces, workplaces, real estate, retail and hospitality, commercial parking, and commercial fleets. It actually resonates so much with our with our understanding of ChargePoint. Although this is a free Friday class, those who are awesome 10x Inner Circle members, please know that we have covered SBE, aka ChargePoint, and you'll notice so many similarities with how we like SBE and how we like this company, TPGY. Why is it that a lot of retail malls or offices would want their parking lots to have these charge points, these EV boxes? Essentially, of course, if you are a car owner, if you're an electric vehicle car owner, the incentive to go to that mall, the incentive to go to that place or a Walmart station, whatever it may be, is because you can actually charge. And while you're charging, you go to the mall. When you're back, tada, your mobile phone tells you it's charged already. So that's, isn't that how great ChargePoint was? And it's great for a consumer, and it's very great also for the investor. Today, ChargePoint is already up 250%. It was about 10, 12, 14 that time. Today, it's trading at $35. And even at $35, although some of you might have taken profits already, I do think that these are 10x names that are worth holding on to. Any drops, we have been bullish to buy more. Okay, so what's happening for this EVBox? Similar industry. They have been acquired by a lot of other global service providers. If in fact, from a small startup, from a Dutch startup, let's see what has happened, right? So they have become acquired. So they were acquired by the energy utility and global service provider, aka NG, who identified us as a disruptive leading clean tech company, making a difference in a fast-growing industry of electric mobility. Guys, I like this because I also saw, if you recall, we said that EVBox and ChargePoint have a lot of similarities because recall that I think in our analysis of ChargePoint, they also got awarded a lot of leading electric and leading all of the environmental, social, ESG policies, all identified ChargePoint and conclusively EVBox as one of the best disruptive companies in the world. And when we see a disruptive company that's changing the world in a very huge industry, it may not be just an awesome 10x company, guys. It may be an awesome 20x company. It may be an awesome 40x company. It may be an awesome 100x company. Meaning a $10,000 investment here could lose $10,000 if I'm wrong. But if I am right, it is $1 million life-changing investment for you, for me, for all of us. So, okay, let's begin. In 2008, we also acquired the ultra-fast charging station manufacturer EVtronic, adding 700 previously installed fast charging stations to our European network. You are seeing consolidation, meaning they can monopolize Europe. With projects running across Europe, North America, and South America, we move forward by perfecting our original recipe with a second generation of hardware and software that are energy efficient, future-proof, and easy to use. So stay connected with us, our Facebook page, our LinkedIn page, our Twitter page, our Instagram page, and of course, youtube.com/EVBoxGlobal. So there's a lot of reasons why we should buy this, right? So why don't we watch a simple video? This is a 2-minute video. Wake up, guys. Play. 4 minutes.
Hello, my name is Christophe Renewable, CEO of EVBox Group. Together we are on a mission to create a sustainable future of transportation that is better for everyone. Our story started in the Netherlands back in 2010, which I like to call the Silicon Valley of EV charging. Since then, we have grown a lot, expanding our network across 70 countries and shipped over 190,000 charging ports. We have made it our mission to empower forward-thinking businesses and drivers to adopt electric mobility by providing integrated, flexible, and scalable EV charging solutions. With our platform-first approach, technology and innovations are at the heart of EVBox Group. Today, we boost a portfolio of end-to-end charging solutions, ranging from 3.7 kilowatt to 350 kilowatt, powered by scalable charging software and designed for every market segment. We have always been an active promoter of price transparency and interoperability from the beginning, and have always prioritized the needs of our customers.
In locations where we know the dwell time is 6+ hours or overnight, Level 2 charging is perfect. For restaurants and shorter dwell time locations, DC Fast is the right solution. And through the Flash network, a valet stand can gain access to available chargers anywhere in the urban core. For all of these solutions, we need partners like EVBox that are willing to think differently and not create a walled garden of data, but fully integrate and unlock the power of a seamless, dynamic experience that looks at every available piece of data to create the future and empower the parking operator to manage charging as part of their parking operation.
EV charging starts with some magic behind the scenes, otherwise known as software. Our software is the backbone of our company and is capable of handling billions of charging transactions. It can also be customized to meet specific needs and branding requirements, so a customer's brand is kept at the forefront of every charging session. Embedded software technology has been at the heart of our business from the beginning. We started out by developing AC charging solutions for public, residential, and commercial locations, as well as workplaces. Our solutions have always included smart charging features to help people and businesses optimize their charging. After that, we expanded our portfolio to offer fast and ultra-fast DC charging solutions that deliver up to 350 kilowatt to a single vehicle. With manufacturing facilities in France and the US, our DC solutions are built for scale and summarize our vision of fast charging that is modular, reliable, and smart. We couldn't bring these solutions to market without our service partners, value-added resellers, and installers. Thanks to these great partnerships, we can offer our customers around the world the best service every single day. Ultimately, we're doing this for the planet, its people, and future generations. We intend to place over 1 million charging points across the planet in the next 5 years, preventing 19 million metric tons of transport-related CO2 being released into the atmosphere. In the meantime, we will continue to evolve our eco-focused product design, source materials on a sustainable way, and create workplaces that are diverse and inclusive. But we couldn't achieve any of this without our passionate and committed team striving for a more sustainable world. This is EVBox Group. Thanks for being with us on our journey. EV proud!
Okay, guys. Wait up. Let me just fix this. pretty boy a while ago. I don't know if you noticed, but anyway, I'll show that to you later. Okay. So there's a lot of EVBox webinars, and I think that this is actually a very good one. There's an EVBox webinar last September 2, 2020. You've got the host Jennifer Liu, you've got Bas Bruneng, Hugo Pereira, Winan Dimer, the evolution of design and DNA at EVBox and beyond. It's a very good webinar, and I'll show you some highlights that I learned from it. I think this is a 1-hour video. So yeah, it's a 1-hour video. I will discuss a few things that I've learned. So of course, this is Hugo Pereira. He's the Chief Growth Officer of EVBox. And you could see that from the design, the evolution, the company takes pride in not just building a wonderful system, but even in how it looks. So you could see that original design principles, new design principles, they've got inspirations even from tulips, because of course it's a Dutch company. So Amsterdam, Netherlands. You could see that the way that they designed our path to user-centered design, it is not just a box, it is an ecosystem. We focus on ecosystems from the beginning, and we look to be the leading player in the complex EVSE industry. So electric vehicle service provider. I'm not sure what the SE industry means, but I feel that they believe in the entire infrastructure ecosystem. We have learned the hard way through real market and user insights from day one, and we use our visual brand language and product DNA as our North Star. This is our iconic journey, developing a user-centric design for commercial charging solutions, from this to this over the last 10 years. And take note that the demand for electric vehicles in Romania has been growing, with 1,162 electric vehicles registered in 2020 until the end of August. The market has been showing an accelerated growth throughout the last 5 years, from 27 to 2,000, and continuing to grow perhaps another 3,000 or 5,000 vehicles. And the thing is, actually, so far, I think in the world, we've got about 3 million. Let me discuss to you how that 3 million vehicles could become 50 million vehicles around the world. That's why actually we are very bullish in the entire electric vehicle market, whether it be the US market, the European market, the Chinese market. And so the downside is too small versus the upside. The compelling case is just really to hold on to your winners. The demand of the market is basically supported by the high subsidies of electric vehicles, approximately 9,000 euros to companies and individuals for buying an electric vehicle, 4,000 euros for a PHEV Rabla Plus program versus 1,300 euros for a traditional car. For those who aren't in the know, I think currently there's about just less than 3% penetration rate, or less than 2% penetration rate of electric vehicles worldwide. And so if you're seeing that 3% penetration rate of electric vehicles will at least tenfold to 30% in the next maybe 5 to 10 years, it's an easy money. This is the easiest money that you'll ever make in your life. Please don't be stupid not to see that secular trend. And let me just tell you, this is a 2018 chart wherein by 2025, the expectations on EV sales across the world are set to increase to tenfold, from 1 million to 11 million. I think right now we already crossed the 3 million mark. This is just 2020. It's already a triple, but they see that it's going to go 11 or maybe not even 11 million. If you'll ask me, it could even go to 30 million vehicles in just 5 years. And therefore, all the electric vehicles worldwide, there will be China #1, and all of the passenger vehicle sales will increase in Europe, in the US. And why will it be increasing in China, Europe, and US? It's because they have the digital, they have the infrastructure. You couldn't see growth in the smaller markets. The rest of the world will be around 2030, or about 10 to 15 years from now. The first 10 years will come from Europe, US, China, because the infrastructure is there. They've got the charging stations. And guys, if you're not aware, one of the largest charging stations in China is funded by Baidu and funded as well by NIO. So actually both NIO and China State Grid, of course. So actually that underpins my view that Baidu was actually so undervalued at $99. And so right now, Baidu, even at $180, if it's gonna be one of the biggest funders of the largest the largest electric charging infrastructure in China, not just actually Baidu, you've got 1211, BYD. So these are actually awesome 10x picks that we have been highlighting for quite a while now, already 300, 400%. Some of them are up 100% already. Nonetheless, you still need to understand the secular trends are not ending. Any dips on these types of companies are actually good entry points. So actually, one of my biggest regrets is actually for the year, one of my biggest regrets was not being an early investor in NEO and IO. NIO went from $1 to $50 in just 12 months. Of course, from close to bankruptcy to being the darling that it is after it proved that it's growing 300% electric vehicle growth. Tencent funded it to avoid that bankruptcy problems, the cash burn. And so it's just been growing and growing. And so the recent drop actually from 55 NEO to about $39, $40, or even if it falls to $30, in my view, should be actually an attractive entry point for those who don't have NIO. I'm just happy that even if I missed out on NEO, at the very least, I invested in XPEG, which had an IPO this year at $15. I entered at about 18 to 22 and still holding on, even if it reached 75 and fell to 45. I added more actually on the current drop. I've been adding at 31 and 45 for XPEG. So this is also an important trend. This is also the trend where most awesome 10xers have gone 3x, 4x. Some of us were very, very early on the solar entries, such that it's very simple. We said that the biggest thing in the next 10 years is the solar movement. The revolution of electricity becoming very cheap. Take note that from 1977, it would cost you something like, I may be wrong in my numbers, but if my memory is correct, it would have cost you something like 456 times more money rather than today, 1977 to 2019. So as you could see, even in this chart alone, the price of electricity from solar already declined by 89% in the last 10 years alone. More so if you really compare that to about 40 years ago. So actually, if you needed something like $456,000 before, now you need something like just $1,000. So it is so cheap that it actually made me think that this cheap energy, this cheap solar electricity is gonna propel the same massive mainstream movement the way cell phones became so common. And it's actually, because it is so cheap, it will render, the fact that oil is negative, it is really going to go negative in the next maybe not 5 years, maybe in the next 20 years or 15 years, because there is no need for those oil and fossil fuel gas guzzlers. You will really have a world wherein we are happier, we are healthier, we've got a clean energy movement. We've got really sustainable, we've got wind sources, we've got hydroelectric sources, we've got solar photovoltaic, which actually which I told to everyone actually in the Awesome 10x Inner Circle, why the entire solar movement was just in the cusp of a super long-term uptrend. So actually making 1x, 2x, 3x on these companies is not yet the end if it's going to go 10x anyway. So for those who still do not believe or do not know anything about it, number one, you could actually just watch us on 10x channel. It's for free. But number two is, if you do want to get some real awesome ideas from us, just subscribe to bit.ly/awesome10x inner circle. You can just pay us $40 every month. And you can see that every single day, we do a lot of deep dives and research a lot on these powerful trends to make sure that you can make money while you're just sleeping at home. Did we make millions in the millions of dollars as a group? Yes, because so far, even the people who have $10,000 are up at least 100% staying with Awesome 10x. So definitely, all of us are making money while sleeping. The price of electricity from power plants have already basically the inflection point happened actually 2018 where it is actually cheaper to just construct a solar photovoltaic, to construct almost all solar farms, and actually to just simply close down all the coal manufacturers in the world. Actually, that's the reason why Germany closed a lot of coal mines already. So 10 years of EVBox and 10 years more to go. This is the CEO of EVBox Group, electric mobility and cloud entrepreneur. This is Mr. Christoph Varinugi. I hope I didn't, I hope I read his last name correctly. Okay, so he has been the CEO in the last 5 to 6 years. EVBox is the leading manufacturer. During that time, it was over 130,000. So you can understand that this company is growing very fast, including 5,000. So it's actually already 200,000, right? So they acquired Guild Equity Management, the majority shareholding in EVBox, and started an international expansion. From 20 employees to 60 employees, they now have about 500 employees, guys. So the global energy company also announced an acquisition of their shares. So from a startup, now they're doing a business in 12 international offices, doing business in 70 countries, and they're scaling up as a very fast-growing scale-up company with a global leader in an industry with charging installations all around the world. Just to let you know, this CEO is one of the advisors and investors, one of the presidents of managing president of Binder. He's also a mentor in the Startup Bootcamp. In Europe, he is one of the most important guys, and actually being the CEO of he used to be the CEO around January 2006 to 2009, doing a lot of direct marketing on a lot of digital marketing services about 11 years ago. He also helped corporate marketers build and run a lot of effective and marketing campaigns, powerful SaaS platforms, and so forth. A few things to note as well. Mr. Hugo Pereira, scaling up is my game. Electric leading marketing, policy, strategy, and culture, chief growth officer at EVBox Group. This is the guy that I was saying that's pretty boy, right? So he's very handsome. Anyway, either way, what I like about him is that the about page on his LinkedIn is very, very good as well. About Hugo, I'm a humanist technologist, a profound believer in the power of building technology, serving the greater good of humankind, creating a positive impact, loving to scale up organizations, having led multiple startups to find their product market fit, grow the revenue, build the right growth strategy and execution. And for the past 5 years, I have been part of EVBox, a leading growth department, growth CAGR of about 85% year on year, from 15 people to 600 people, over 100% growth in 2019 alone. Today, serving as the Chief Growth Officer, Marketing, Policy, Strategy departments. I'm very passionate about teams and leadership development, successfully managing and empowering several multicultural teams of all sizes and dimensions. Remember that this is a global company, not just in Europe. It's a global company. Founded Teams with Hugo, teamswithhugo.com, as an initiative to spread knowledge about team and leadership development. You could see the kind of leaders that this company has. It's important that you see that he came from a VP Global Marketing Growth and then subsequently got into a Chief Growth Officer. Take note of the recommendations as well. I was lucky enough to have my very first internship with Hugo as my manager. Not only was I able to see the enthusiasm he exuded on his work and his extraordinary leadership skills, I also got to learn about him during the last 6 months, learning not to be afraid of change and to create a productive and warm I've worked closely, an investment director at TorqueX Capital Partners, David Van Hasselt. I worked closely with Hugo during my time at EVBox when the company was still a Dutch startup into becoming an international scale-up. So I quickly learned to appreciate Hugo as a highly talented yet down-to-earth marketing professional with very strong work ethics and teamwork skills. In those years, I witnessed how Hugo built a one-man band into a high-performing international marketing team, buzzing with diversity and creativity. He did this first by a very rigid approach to hiring with a very strong focus on team culture. Next, he spent a lot of attention on the development of people, amongst others, by including personal goals and interests in their evaluation, encouraging the pursuit of side projects that they were passionate about. He led by example, gave space for his team members to shine. This strong leadership fostered and nurtured a similar culture throughout the company, and has transcended, making himself a pivotal role in building EVBox into the thriving scale-up that it is today. So it's very important in my view to actually check out the company, but also to check out the founders and the leaders behind the team. And what I see is it's very good. This is a company that really has the DNA that I want. So of course, I also listen to some webinars. EVBox, the product DNA, they talk about being reliable, secure, intelligent, accessible for the EVBox product sophistication. And this is actually Hugo Pereira there. Some of the people, since ENGIA acquired EVBox, take note that they have so many partners to actually adopt a faster movement to electric vehicles from business to consumer as well as business to business segments. On the business to business segments, let's discuss electrification of PSA dealership sites. We're seeing that they've partnered with who else but Mercedes-Benz, Daimler. For those who have been watching the K-drama Startup, you have seen that the only car that Mr. Han Ji-pyong was always driving was Daimler's Mercedes-Benz, right? So actually, I should tell, well, although I'm a little bit sad that he wasn't driving an XPEV or a Tesla car, it's okay, it's okay. Maybe it's not for, it's not meant to be. Either way, maybe South Koreans love their Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz is also, of course, electric. So business to business, support for getting them ready for the new electric vehicle era. They've had 86 charging stations, 120 connectors in Romania, and their service is site audit, charging stations through EVBox, installation, maintenance, associated digital services. Of course, this is their partnership, a national partnership with Mercedes-Benz. It's a joint promotion of our products, the promotion of LV charging stations, also known as EV boxes, with Mercedes-Benz dealers, a special offer to all the Mercedes customers for our charging stations. Additional services include electricity supply, maintenance, or NG Explore packages. Of course, the market expects everything, and let's see the top trends that they also expect from the short to the medium run. The strong development of a public charging infrastructure is very, very important. So take note, HoReCa players, retailers are attracting high-end customers, gaining visibility and leveraging subsidies. Municipalities like European funds, business to consumer, public transport, fuel station operators, multi-point stations with high installation power. They do believe that the public charging infrastructure will be governed by a lot of the government will really inspire most of the budgets to actually continue to grow. Guys, in the US alone, example, I think Joe Biden said, and this is the reason why ChargePoint really charged ahead. And this is the reason why winners win. And even if we're up like 200% already with ChargePoint, actually, I have no plans to sell. Joe Biden, of course, this is different, right? Because we're talking about Europe. But what I'm saying is that most of the worldwide leaders, when we're talking about China, Europe, and USA, they're really increasing the network charging points, charging stations all around the world. So actually, Joe Biden plans to fight climate change, and they want to actually say that the department pick, the energy department, has promised to build 550,000 electric vehicle charging stations, guys. So I think that it's just plainly stupid for any Awesome 10X portfolio not to own these names. I was telling people that, look, I'm not about being great. I'm not about being a great person. Sometimes making money is just simply not being stupid. Not being stupid. If you don't have it, you are stupid, right? Because Biden's expected energy department pick, Granholm, leading a charge on electric cars, a whopping $1.35 billion in federal funding for companies to make electric cars and batteries in her state. It's a part of a plan, of a $2 trillion plan to fight climate change. Is US just the only one? No, China is doing this. Europe is doing this. Everybody's doing this. Perhaps your portfolio should, of course, have it, right? Of course. The answer is, of course. And they're going to build a lot of jobs for it. and they're gonna build a lot of people who need solar panels as well. I mean, look, even if you haven't invested in these names, you are not late. In fact, if you don't have it, or even if you have it, why sell a 300% move when you're gonna make like 10x, 20x, 30x? Sky is the limit. All right, let's talk about more things. I'm hyping up, right? Okay, sorry. But as you could see, electric charging installations will come in all the non-residential buildings as well. Of course, one of our awesome 10x picks, SunPower, SPWR, is responsible for 50% of all new residential homes. We're talking about 50%. So therefore, why do you think SunPower went from 7 to 25? We got in at about 7. We weren't even the earliest, guys. I think like SunPower is $5 low during March, either, or was it $4? Let's see. But the point here, guys, is that when you see a super secular trend, we're talking about a super secular trend, it is almost irresponsible for your money to stay in the bank. Who cares? Because at the end of the day, you will make 10x money with these secular trends, right? So electric wiring compulsory in new residential parking starting by 2025. When they say compulsory, it means required. The federal funding, all the companies have to. When it's required, whether you want it or not, your non-electric vehicle is gonna go to the junkyard. You have to essentially buy an electric vehicle if you're Chinese, if you're American, if you're European. For those Filipinos out here, you are not yet required because we don't have a charging station in the Philippines yet. But the point here is that in the next 10 to 15 years, all your diesel-fired cars are nonsense. It's gonna go to the junkyard. It's gonna depreciate over time. It's a nonsense car, all right? So just when horse carriages transition to diesel-fired cars, and diesel-fired cars are transitioning to electric vehicle charging stations, when your mobile phone displays the dial-up phone that no millennial understands today anymore because they never lived in that phone that you know, remember that old phone? The one that you have, what do we call that phone? Anyway, let's see that. Old phones. I mean, who cares about the phone booths, right? Not even this. I'm not talking about that phone. This phone, yeah. Like, this is an antique. This is a dinosaur. This is extinct, the rotary dial telephone. Can you imagine what's going to happen with your cars? It's going to be extinct. Dinosaur. You have a dinosaur car. Anyway, all right. So what are the safest and cleanest sources of energy? Solar right now is the safest. And yet, guys, if you really study the math here, solar is less than 20% of the entire worldwide energy. And therefore, of course, this has room to grow 10x further. The price of new electricity is now 2 cents per kilowatt hour. We even broke the record of, I think, 1.6 cents. The cost of solar in a very, very hot country like India. The world record setting was in India, cheapest solar. It was 1.6 cents per kilowatt hour. This is here. Well, they said that Acme sells electricity to distributors for 2.44 rupees a kilowatt hour, a record low for solar power in India. The data trackers say that it has the world's cheapest solar energy. India is now producing the world's cheapest solar power. Yeah, how India in a short period of time, you know, guys, actually India will become the super solar power of the world because they've got the hottest country. And if you're hot, I mean, you're literally hot as the Gobi Desert, right? Of course, Mongolia is also very, very strong. We have actually, guys, battery charging stations. We can store all that electricity in a battery. That's why all the battery companies are 10x placed as well, whether it be CATL of China, whether it be Panasonic, whether it be, well, people in the US say it's going to be RMG, right? People in the US say that there's so many storage batteries. What is it? Of course, the solid state batteries of KCAC, aka QuantumScape, thinks that they can do the solid state battery. The point here, guys, is that the important innovation, guys, is that the important innovation here, guys, is that you can store batteries, and that is a game changer. Because the sun, if you cannot store batteries, so what? But if you can store the electricity, then that is a game changer. So why did renewables become so cheap so fast? You can actually understand this global opportunity for green growth. Our worldindata.org/cheap renewables growth, check it out. But in summary, the argument is, of course, this is a huge S curve, this is a huge J curve, whatever you, the J curve, the reason why it's called J curve is that it looks like a J. It's like a parabolic kaboom. It's like the S curve, right? So these are really important curves that you have to be aware of. Not like Rihanna curves, not like Beyonce curves. It's the S curves like these. The drive towards zero carbon. Businesses are already facing pressure even from their stockholders and the wider public. So this is not about Tesla. This is about the entire climate change action. This is what Al Gore has been saying. This is why $2 trillion will actually go to fund green energy. And when that $2 trillion goes to a company like this, which is just $1.5 billion, even if you pay $3 billion tonight or $4 billion tonight, who cares? It's going to go $10, $20 billion anyway, right? So the leading barriers today of this zero carbon model is actually about organizations needing to take a holistic view. You cannot have a green world if you cannot actually have a charging station, right? You cannot make people buy electric vehicles if you don't even have solar panels on their homes, if you don't even have all these businesses adopting the clean tech movement. So actually, guys, Joe Biden being the president of the United States is actually a good move because it's gonna lead us to a wider new economy, which the current president Donald Trump is not supporting. So of course, because Joe Biden is pro clean tech, not only will it become very good for your investments, it's actually good for the planet, good for the profits, planet, people, everyone. So this is NG. They're already the experts in electric vehicle charging station, charging solutions. You could see that they are all across the board. Sectors, energy, energy services, facility management, regeneration, EV charging solutions. Usually companies like this should be trading already at $10 billion, and you have the lucky charm that you can still buy it at $3 billion today. NG, EV solutions, workplace charging, public charging, fleet and taxi, Genie Point network, reliable. Okay, so this is what I was saying. In 2019, Mercedes-Benz entered the Benelux market with NG and EVBox electrify the fleet. So we're talking about Benelux, meaning Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg market. So essentially, this partnership means that all of the customers and dealers of Mercedes-Benz are gonna support the transition to electric mobility, the plug-in hybrid and full electric models of Mercedes-Benz cars, including private and commercial vehicles, the Mercedes EQ, and the Smart. Let's go first. Let's go today to their more stuff, right? So did I tell you this? Okay, go to the Wikipedia and okay, what do we know about them? They got acquired, their products, they offer that platform as a service business. EVBox uses an indirect distribution approach. They have companies like NG, Rexel, Vattenfall, Eneco, and they are working with a lot of providers to grow through joint partnerships around the world with charging infrastructure such as Amsterdam, with Vattenfall and Hegemans, Rotterdam with NG, Monaco, and New York State with EV Connect. So basically, this company partners. That's why they can really grow further and further. They have a huge target of 1 million charging stations. Can they do it? The answer in my view is yes. Of course, let me just explain to you that this is a 2019 chart, no? Chinese cars boosting EV demand. Guys, if you recall, General Motors owns a startup in China which actually sells $4,500 cars. And that's actually the best-selling car, not the Tesla car, because it's $4,500 car. That car is Wuling Auto. So of course, it's gonna be cheap, like the phones, like just like how Chinese smart vehicles, Chinese smartphones invade the world. It's all about the price point too. So I do believe that you can have an Apple phone. Maybe the Apple phone is the Tesla, but you could see that some people are willing to use a Huawei phone, an Oppo phone, a Vivo phone. And why and the way that you see this, guys, is that the smartphone trend has already eclipsed, already done, because 5.5 billion people already have a smartphone in the world. But can you imagine how many people will have a smart car, an electric car? This is the reason why we have made so much money in companies like Serens, 36 to 105 nonstop, because all the electric cars will have to talk with you. And the Jarvis of that talking car is Serens. And of course, that means that all these charging stations will make money for you as well. All these electric vehicles, no matter which electric vehicle you choose. Yes, some people would say that their electric car is Xpeng, or their electric car is Neo, or their electric car is RC Moto, or 1211, or GE Auto, or Tesla, or whatsoever, guys. The point here is that electric vehicle sales are gonna grow. And that growth is super duper strong. Take note that EV sales in China alone, from about 40,000 in 2018, was 1 million vehicles in China alone. Because the prices of these electric vehicles are also very cheap. The figures are showing that if it's cheap cars, then people can actually buy them. Here, buy them, like this was even like saying like $40,000 cars and $30,000 cars. The more mainstream this is, the more cheaper it will be. So the cheap EVs are here for you. Cheap electric vehicles equals is the same thing as cheap smartphones, guys. So that's a huge, huge thing. Take note, this was 2019. BAIC. This is listed in China, so we can't really buy them. But yeah, actually, this is 2019. BYD, Great Wall Motor, Tesla Model 3. But actually, guys, the biggest selling vehicle right now is Wuling Auto. I'm gonna share that article to you. Wuling Auto, which is actually the GM. In fact, the only thing that perhaps has been helping General Motors is the startups that they've invested upon that's really growing in wild moves. SAIC, GM, Wuling Automobile manufactures, distributes mobile cars, and SAIC, Wuling Automobile, SAIC, Chinese Wuling cars witnessing growing popularity even in Indonesia, and Wuling Motors. So this, in my view, what's happening, guys, is that Wuling Motors is becoming the Oppo phones, and the only way to access that is through GM too. So GM went from $25 to $40 already. Tama ba? Let me just check. We gave a buy call on GM at $25. I think not, although it's not like $100 yet. I do think that the movement, of course, is that it is an uptrend. So it's $40, yeah. So we were opining around June, July to buy it at about 25. Hasn't doubled yet, so it's a little bit laggard if you think about it, because usually all of our picks are already 100% up if it was 6 months ago. So a little bit laggard, but even at $42, I do think that this is an uptrend all the way. Wait up, guys. I'm sorry. Let's go back to our EVBox. Sorry. Okay, so here. So this is the Mercedes-Benz cars. At EVBox, we are happy to contribute in such a significant way to help Mercedes-Benz customers make the transition to electric mobility. It is very clear that driving is growing fast, electric driving is growing fast, and there is demand for reliable charging infrastructure. So this is the managing director of EVBox Benelux. So the partnership of the private, the public, and the fleets, one-stop shop, yeah. Actually, like what I was saying is that the reason why you have to be understanding is that, let's see. All right, let's read the new news, all right? ChargeBox Net supplies Carrefour Argentina with 100 EVBox charging stations. EVBox Group is becoming a public company, of course, with the TPGY's financial business. So this is the SPAC that was just released December 10. And so you are seeing that TPG is gaining ground, right? So the institutional investors are BlackRock, Inclusive Capital Partners, Neuberger Berman Funds. They're investing something like $425 million, guys. It's gonna close on first quarter 2021. So what should you know more about them? The transition, all right, we already know that. For over a decade, they've already been a pioneer, scaling for further global expansion, agree with that. The position is the first mover, agree with that. Focus on supply, demand, yes, agree with that. The box offering includes everything, the award-winning AC Level 2 and DC fast and ultra-fast smart charging stations, ranging from 3 to 350 kilowatts, all served by mobility services offered through their partners worldwide. Also a founding member of the Open charge alliance and offerings, complying with all the open charge point protocols. As part of its focus to renewables and clean tech, NG acquired EVBox. Okay, got it. Yeah, so transaction summary, they actually got valued at about $1.5 billion. So even at double the price today, even at $3 billion, it is a no-brainer buy, guys. I think you'll make about 3x at the very least. This is worth $9 to $10 billion at the very least with the kind of things that they're doing, right? So advisors, investor presentation, let's go to their roadshow. They've got access the replay. The entry code is capital 58. Let's take a look at their roadshow here. Capital 58. All investor materials can be found here. So we're gonna read the investor materials as well. Control C. So yeah, so who is NG? NG is about all the global reference in low carbon energy and services. They have been investing in everything that's working towards the transition to a carbon neutral world. China, Europe, and US have all pledged to have a zero carbon emission world, whether it's 2030, 2025, 2040, whatever their targets are, trillions of dollars are on pace to really go into this space. So when we're talking about trillions and this is a $1 billion, $2 billion, $3 billion company, you could understand why there's so much. It's not hype. It's just common sense to be an investor here. Let's see. I need to go to the what's this? The roadshow. All right, Capital 58. Sorry. Whoops. What? Continue. I haven't watched their roadshow yet, so I guess I can't like watch it. Let's see. Maybe it's a 1 hour roadshow. Either way, you got me at hello. I mean, the stuff that I'm reading about them, I'm already sold. So, oops. Let's see. Anyway, I'll read that late. I'll watch their webinar later. But let's go to their EVBox. So let's see a lot of the Twitter stuff. So inside the Twitter, they've got already 5,000 followers. You've seen the future ambitions. Join the revolution, agree, the mobility revolution since 2010. They've already been powering up. I want to really go to their numbers as well. I just want to have an idea about how much revenues this company already has with 190,000. And so I really want to go through their files. Want to go to see their prospectus, right? For people asking, should you buy even at $26? The answer is yes. This is a company that's worth $100 at the very least. So at $10 IP of $1.5 billion, a minimum of times 6 or at least $60. At 26, you're still hitting 100% move here. Maybe you can get better entry at about $20, but that should not stop you to actually invest some of your money inside. So a lot of viewers, a lot of speakers. I guess you could check out Go from Parking Lot to Next Gen Mobility Hub with EV charging, the blog.evbox.com. You can see more in their own Twitter channel on how you could learn more about the EV charging stations like these. Wait up, let me just find more press releases. I'm okay with that. Investor presentation. Let's go here. Okay, 61 pages. Let's see. TPGY, December 2020. All right, let's go here. EVBox, it's a sponsor group. All right, we know it already. This represents just 6 times revenue. So if you're paying today at 100% higher, you're paying about 13 times, but it's okay, guys. We pay premiums for companies that we trust. Selected investments of TPG so far have been Airbnb, Spotify, Zscaler, C3AI, Uber, Hotwire, Box, well, Sky. So actually, I'm aware of Airbnb, Spotify, C3AI, Zscaler, and Uber. Yep. So it just tells you that they're also been investing with great companies like Progeny, C3AI again, and so far. So they're really a company that has been doing and sponsoring a lot of impact investing. And so those companies are indeed great companies. In this company list, we actually identified, so Awesome TEDx picks are Spotify, Airbnb, Progeny. I didn't study Zscaler, but I am aware that it is a very strong company, C3AI as well. Uber is a little bit expensive for my taste, but as you could see, if you were an early investor, then you'd have made so much money. The observation, of course, is that the next industrial revolution are electric vehicles. Agree with that. There's a paradigm shift. Agree with that. Investing hundreds of billions of dollars. Agree. Increased demand. Europe is the epicenter of EV transition. Agree as well. EV ecosystem is highly complex. Therefore, we need to have standards here to monetize their investment. Agree with this. EVBox is the best positioned platform, the leader in Europe, leader in charging stations, open architecture software. Agree with that. So investment highlights. The annual revenue has grown in the last 5 years, 20x move from 10 million euros to 225 million euros. So this is really, 2020, 70 million or times 7, but they plan to triple that to 225 or 2022. So very strong growth. And I could believe that because the more charging stations, the more software platforms, the more revenue. So this is a SaaS platform. I agree with this because of course, we already studied how ChargePoint makes money, so it's the same, no? Founded in Netherlands, okay, interoperable platform, asset-light model, okay, attractive. So it's like a platform as a service, agree. $280 billion of robust tailwinds, infrastructure in Europe and US alone, agree. So fully funded business plan, agree with that. EBITDA about to break even by 2023, agree. We empower forward-thinking businesses, sustainable future, everyday transport, agree, organizational. So this is important. So you have a SaaS platform like through your phone. This is similar actually with what we've seen in ChargePoint, right? So very similar. Leading European market share already for the AC and DC market, 25%, 35%. We can see it grow to about 70 to 80% over time. So integrated charging platforms, agree with these. The charging management software, support and services, charging stations. So you can actually become, if my memory is correct, with ChargePoint, actually, you could be a leader and a partner as well with them. So perhaps with EVBox, the same thing. Like they partner with a lot of retailers, as you could see in the news clip above. In the news clip a while ago, we saw that EVBox partnered in the news front with Carrefour, which is a supermarket. So definitely the retailers would love that that partnership, right? So it's just common sense for the retailers to partner up with these EV boxes. So that is something that is a no-brainer. EV box groups and resolutions, all right. Corporate and fleet solution, branded charging stations, agree. Commercial solution and residential solutions with a mobile app for drivers, agree with this. So they already have this. We design and sell market-leading software and hardware and services to EV charging station owners and drivers. Agree with this. So platform model drives substantial recurring revenue. Agree. So you pay monthly and then it's recurring. So with that, and then when you charge it, so you can charge anywhere. So there's a lot of money here for businesses like these. Platform model, a lot of revenue. Agree. So you have a hardware one time, but you get a software subscription forever. So over the life of a single charging station, more than half the revenues from recurring software services and transaction fees. Platform network effect, agree. So if you've got EV boxes, if you've got EV boxes, active charge points, charge ports managed for station owners, clearing more transactions lowers per transaction cost. So it can accelerate the flywheel effect. Accelerate, yep, agree. So you can actively manage, allowing over 2 million EV drivers. I remember seeing that for every, I remember that when I was reading on the SBE ChargePoint portfolio, like understanding, they were saying that they wanted to go something like 2 million charge stations. And this one is doing like 1 million. I think that most of them have really low targets because if you're going to have the entire world in your fingertips, well, Europe and US at the very least, you've got like perhaps a 500, I don't know, 500x or 200x. I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of, or maybe it's just 100x. But guys, 100x is $10,000 to $1 million. Think about it. Diversified customer base. All right, we're seeing like so what I'm saying is that you've missed the Apples of the world, you've missed the Amazons, you've missed the Netflix of the world. You've even missed Tesla of the world. So I mean, don't be stupid to miss out on ChargePoint and companies like these, like TPGY, aka EVBox. Diversified customer base. You can already see fleets, parking and transport, utilities, municipalities, Fuel and charging service providers, all the automotives are their customer bases, from the likes of Citroën, Peugeot, Ford, Vauxhall, Hyundai, Mercedes-Benz, Seat, Mazda. You've got workplace and hospitality. Definitely McDonald's wants to have a charge station there. IKEA, Amazon, Rushan. Look, everyone wants to be a partner. Isn't it obvious, right? EVBox is poised to capture the inflection point in EV demand. People are asking me, guys, could I buy the TPGY warrants? I think the answer is yes. If you're going to put $1,000 in that TPGY warrant today, the question is, are you willing for it to go down to 50% for a 1,000% upside? The answer is, of course, yes. Of course. Like, what do I care if I'm going to make 10x, right? That's the entire mentality of Awesome 10x. We here are not interested with single hits. We here are interested only in home runs, because here we don't really mind if our $1,000 or $10,000 loses 50% for the game to get $100,000 to $1 million. And that's really how we do it. We have great ideas, and when we invested in a winner, we're gonna really hold it to the hilt. Hold it and sleep on it and just make money while sleeping. So, okay, streamline manufacturing and assembly. Partnership with top-tier manufacturers. You already know this. 650 plus employees globally. I think they can grow to 1,000 to 2,000 employees over time. Inflection point in electric vehicle demand. Yes, all European countries, US and Canada. Substantial customer wins in US and Europe. Okay, leadership team. Yeah, so I really like the leadership team. You could see that these guys are so... these guys are one of the best in my view. So 650 plus employees, 70 nationalities. They are a multi-diverse company, very diverse culture, very good. A lot of, oh, sorry guys, disclaimer, it is up to you to decide. This is just an informational course. We do not, what's the normal speech there? This is just an educational channel. We do not endorse buy and sell recommendations. Do your own research, blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right, guys. So that's it. 13 global offices, la, la, la. All right. So the market. So of course, everyone also believes in the rapid acceleration, guys. Reuters, Financial Times, Wall Street Journal. Everyone is banning the sales of all the new gas-powered cars in 2035. This was California. UK already banned all the petrol and diesel cars 2030 in 10 years' time. Volkswagen says all their last generation combustion engines will be launched in 2026 as of December 2018. GM said, General Motors said they're going to spend $27 billion in all the 30 new electric vehicles by 2025. Europe already approved the biggest green stimulus with a $572 billion plan. Germany will require all gas stations. Guys, these are requirements. Requirements, meaning we will not suffer pollution and all the bad carbon stuff within 2035. So your health will thank you. Your people, your profits, your planet. This is one of the best investments that you can make in your life. Rapid electric vehicle growth, the total expected cumulative EV sales. So I was telling you that, so some people say it's 3 million, 15 million, I don't know. So like here, they're talking about 14 million vehicles by 2025 in Europe and USA alone. So that when we talk about electric vehicles, guys, we're not talking about electric vehicles that you think like Tesla cars. It could be like an electric vehicle scooter. It could be an electric vehicle three-wheeler. It could be an electric vehicle bus. It could be an electric vehicle, whatever. So therefore, there are a lot of winners here. There are a lot of winners. So example, like if you don't have very, if you're not rich enough to afford a lot of, you can't even, let's say you don't have money, you can't afford a $50,000 electric vehicle. I'm sure that a $5,000 electric vehicle is just right up in your alley. So you've got the NIU, the new electric scooters that are very heavy as well in US and Europe. So actually, there's a lot of companies that you can actually win from the electric vehicle market. Annual European EV sales needed to meet EU's is 2025 to 2030. Agree with this, that from 450, they're seeing that the next decade in Europe and United States is all about it's all about these CO2 carbon dioxide reduction targets. So if you're a government official, you are actually required to do this, to ban all those diesel-fired vans, gas cars, la la la. Proposed expansion would actually require the target to be 60%, requiring EV sales to increase more than 28 times the current sales. So actually, guys, I think that what's happening in the world right now is that only Tesla is moving up. Well, Tesla, NIO, right? But the fact that Xpeng right now is just 2x or 3x, to me is actually so cheap, because it's, it has to be like $200 already. Well, maybe not yet, but it's gonna be, right? So it's important that you are aware of that so that you grow your money well. European policy tailwinds, agree. So you've already seen this. The entire Europe has already voted for these incentives to be in place. European state EV infrastructure incentive plans. The subsidies is €1,000, 36% subsidy. So look, all of these subsidies will just help all the electric vehicles, and therefore even the charging point incentives will also grow and grow. So we're talking about the next 5, 10, 15 years, and this is the clearest secular trend that your money can ever make in the world. So European EV charging ecosystem, better access for drivers, clearing transactions between stakeholders, enabling businesses to monetize their sites. So of course, if you're a user, you could just sign up, pay for your charging sessions through a card or through your mobile phone. Ensure the driver can charge in all public charging ports, meaning you can do it yourself. So you can go to a Carrefour station, you can go to your offices. Example, like ChargePoint is in all like Google offices and Amazon offices. So everyone working there, they just go outside, they just park their car, automatic, it's electric. So same for Alibaba and so forth, right? So sign up with a ChargePoint operator, get paid for your charging station. The businesses are also happy. They just buy the charge stations, they win, right? So it's almost like it's a win-win for everyone, for the businesses, to the users. So everyone, right? EV charging value chains, hardware operations, software, mobility, asset ownership supports the asset owners. So the ownership of charging station will commercialize charging services and others. So these charging stations, the owners of these are also going to be wealthy because they'll have recurring income. I mean, it used to be that maybe your parents or your grandparents thought that owning a Shell gas station was one of the most recurring revenue providers for themselves. I think in the next 10 to 15 years, everyone will say that the most easy money that they made was just really investing in all these charging stations all around the world. Because all the electric vehicles, whether you're owning a Tesla car or a NIO or an Xpeng or a Geely Auto, whatever it may be, you have to charge it at some point in time. And therefore, these are monopolies or oligopolies that you can actually get a dominator monopoly effect for your entire portfolio. So you've got a large European and American total addressable market, right? So everything here is really great. Look at the billions of the euros that are happening in the total addressable market. $38 billion just for the hardware. That's one-time revenues. And then the software, which is recurring, is something in the realm of 20 to $37 billion. These are all $60 billion that's happening in just the next 10 years. That's what they feel is their TAM, but that could be even bigger. Maybe it's a $100 billion total addressable market. Competitive positioning today, guys. EVBox, take note, it will be against ChargePoint, it will be against Shell, New Motion, and NLX. Software, you've already got it. The beautiful thing is that EVBox is better in all fronts, even better than ChargePoint. So EVBox is the leading full-service provider offering a complete portfolio of charging stations, a charging software solution, and related services. That's why, guys, even if it's currently like 100% or whatever price it is, it's a market open buy. Like you can just buy it tonight. I think the price is 26. Buy it, doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter if you pay 28, 27, 26, 24, 21, $20. I don't know the price that you enter. But if it's gonna go $200, guys, who cares? Who cares about the price you enter? EVBox European leadership position enables global expansion. Extremely fragmented, right? So you're gonna have to consolidate that. And with their money, they're gonna consolidate that. It really reflects an expansive, attractive market. And So their demand for open architecture, you've got it all the way. All the partners, like Marriott Hotel, of course. So if you wanted to go to the hotel and you're like so scared that your electric vehicle will suddenly have no place to charge your stations, of course, Marriott has a parking lot which already has these EV boxes in place. So charging solutions is good for everyone. So far, this is just what you need to know. The level 1 charging, non-connected, the level 2 charging. So far, they're already here. And they want to go further to the ultra-fast charging. I remember like in ChargePoint, you just needed to wait around something like 15 minutes. So the reason why, even if like you charge it, right? So you go to the mall, you go to the 7-Elevens of the world, and then you just buy your supermarket, and then your mobile phone will tell you, okay, your car is charged already. So yeah, so you just go back and then you leave. So the more charging stations, of course, is better for you. I think each charge up can power up at least, if my memory is correct, something like, if you're thinking about range anxiety, I think something like worth 12 hours. It really depends how far. I think like how many miles are you gonna drive? But I can't remember. But you can actually check it out. But you really have no problem, because I remember reading in articles that every hour or every 15 minutes there's a charge point there. And in this case, if they're gonna build 1 million or 500,000 electric charging stations, you will never have a problem in your range anxiety problems. So you won't be scared na, hala, I can't like, hala, paano kung, like where will I charge my car? Don't worry about that. So there, illustrative hospitality case study. Stage 1 trial, it's free. Next time it's going to be 30 cents per kilowatt hour. Next time it's going to be either 10 cents or 30 cents, expansion, and then customization for membership card. So the hotel buys, installs the charging station. So the charging station is not yet monetized. They'll just give it for free. That's the most common case to get adoption. Make it free first, but over time you'll charge it via the EV boxes, etc. So eventually, like that's the profitability model. So the charging stations, you can see that they've got everything: residential, commercial, the fleet. These are the Icon, and these are the LVs. There's the Tronics, which is for the fleet, for the public. This is for the buses, the fuel retail, the highway corridors, the commercial. They've got it all, guys. So this is what I'm saying. It's just going to be 15 minutes. This is 5 to 30 minutes. This is 30 to 90 minutes. These are these are really for the workplaces, no? So 1 to 8 hours, 4 to 8 hours. So the thing is, like for the home, like when you charge, it's kind of like charging your phone, right? You just sleep on it, and then tomorrow it's already charged, so you can already drive the car. Long stops, 4 to 8 hours. The use case, yeah, so it's okay. Like you can have 7.4 up to 75 miles in an hour. So they have already addressed all those anxiety fears that all the electric vehicle users and owners are scared about. So regular charging platform, then the fast charging DC platform. So they're continuously innovating their portfolio to address the infrastructure needs of everyone. Everyone platform approach is, of course, the mobile phone. You can actually use this as a recurring service to understand how your consumption is actually, right? So actually, guys, if you are a solar car as well, if you're a solar home, you can actually charge it and you can store it. So you get free electricity. So you just have a one-time solar panel installation, and yeah, you have free electricity for life. How good is that? Beautiful, right? So actually it's gonna be meaningless. Like example, right now you're paying maybe $40 per month for your gas charges and parkings, all of those stuff. Eventually, guys, people believe that if electricity is so cheap, you can just charge your cars, you can charge your phones. Electricity is so cheap. All these automation will actually bring about a wealth of money to the entire world. Actually, it's good for everyone. Think about it. Like you're happy as a consumer of the clean tech, but you're also a happy investor. It's the best case, right? So there, you can even see how much you are budgeting and how much carbon footprint you are reducing. So you're saving the earth, you're saving the earth and becoming wealthy as well. One of the best ways to actually invest. I love that. Conscious capitalism, ESG. That's why we like ESG names. A+, like I think I try to check my impact board on my investments, and Interactive Brokers has that, the impact dashboard. I'm happy to get an A+, meaning I really invested in the future technologies. That's why all the solar companies, all the charging stations, if you have an A+ portfolio, not only is it a wonderful portfolio making money for you, you're also saving the world. You're also saving the earth. The Captain Planet portfolios are really good. Yeah, anyway, I digress. Open standards, interoperability, these are good. So you could see that all the charging stations are partnered already with all of these existing partners, Schneider Electric, Total, so very good. So that is to prevent them from being dinosaurs in the future, right? Exponential shipment growth, 8x growth, good job. Creating a meaningful environment, zero carbon future. So from more than 19 million cars is the projection. More than 15 million cars, but actually they also predict they would save lives because 19 million metric tons of carbon dioxide will be reduced. And this is the reason why climate change is an important problem that we have to address. And this electric vehicle wave is really about the environment as well. It's not about making you happy and profitable. It's about making sure that the children of tomorrow will have clean air as well. So monetized value, net positive impact is about $2 billion. So the commitment is really on that front. Charge points shipped, revenue types, revenue geography, agree with that. Okay, gross margin, adjusted gross margin, very strong margins. Okay, so scalable operating model, agree, EV sales. So 50 million electric vehicles worldwide, a 13x move in the next 10 years, agree with that. 10x, 13x, 20x, what do I care? We just know that it's gonna go up. Sources and uses, okay, we already know this, investors, the SPAC IPO investors here. So we're gonna be in this SPAC investors group. NG is the big behemoth who acquired this company in 2017. You've got the public and private equity investors, 16%. Those are your BlackRocks, FPA investors, and then the SPAC IPO investors. So you've got everything here. They already, guys, take note that all of these are all our awesome 10x picks. Electric vehicle charging, SBE, Array, and Phase Solar Edge, Peloton, Roku, have it all. I already have all of these in the portfolio. So it's just normal that my awesome 10x picks also mold with other awesome 10x picks. So it just goes to show that, of course, this belongs to your portfolio. These are 10x companies, very, very strong. Current geographic mix, of course, the difference only is that EVBox is in Europe, ChargePoint is in North America. They have got an interoperable software, a white label. I mean, I can't find any great company like this. So when you have it, it's almost as if too stupid not to own it. Maybe people are already wanting to get 50% of their entire portfolio in companies like these. At the end of the day, it's about you, your portfolio. Usually, I really just advise 15%. But if you really think that this is the one and only company that you really, really love, I will not hesitate that it's your money, it's your call. Disclaimer, of course, that it's your money, it's your call. So it's your money. Remember that. It is your money. But these companies are worth marrying for. Okay, very strong growth. So the key takeaway, I agree with all of these. Established industry, compelling valuation, powerful impact, highly scalable, expected path to a large base of recurring revenue, and accelerating growth driven by EV sales and EV charging infrastructure expansion. So more case studies connected already with Flash Parking. The CEO of Flash Parking is already turning the parking lots into connected mobility hubs. They already have an integrated EV charging solution. Very strong move. The Scania case study. This is a 4-year partnership with Scania's buses and trucks. The solution is to tailor this real fleet and depot management needs. So all the bus stops will have an NG and EVBox group. And these are the selected partners of choices. Really, guys, when I studied Serens, it was really a no-brainer for me. When I studied ChargePoint, it was also a no-brainer for me. So this is also another no-brainer stock pick. I would be so stupid if I'm not saying that if this is a 10x company, right? So NG is a strategic customer, balance sheet. All right, got it. So I hope you learned something today. And I hope that you learn and earn. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Awesome 10x channel.